Team follow through. Earlier this month, we reported a young mother from Sarasota died after an airbag in her car exploded in a crash. That car was in an accident before she bought it, and a lawsuit says someone installed a counterfeit airbag.
And tonight, I-Team investigator Adam Walser is looking into a new case involving a Manatee County man who discovered serious safety problems with not one, but two used cars he bought from the same dealer.
Ron Egert says he loves his Hyundai Sonata. The disabled Ellington resident bought it last year from the H. Gregg used car dealership in Brandon. The Sonata was a one-owner trade-in, had never been in a crash, and was equipped with the latest safety features.
I buy cars for the ride, as I've had numerous back surgeries. I gotta have certain cars.
The Sonata wasn't the car Egert originally purchased from H. Gregg. That one was a red 2021 Volvo S60.
The good deals on the cars was what brought me to it.
A police report shows that Volvo, a former rental car, crashed into a concrete barrier and its front airbag deployed. This photo was taken before the car was auctioned. Egert says H. Gregg gave him a Carfax indicating it had been in a crash and the airbag deployed, which he signed. After, he says he was told it passed a multi-point inspection, something the company says on its website.
Everything looked great on the car.
When did you start to feel like something wasn't right?
When the airbag light came on, it says do not drive car, go to dealership immediately.
Egert took the car to Volvo Cars Sarasota to have it checked out.
They told me that the safety systems were subverted.
A report from the technician accompanied by photos said the restraint module, which controls the seatbelt pretension, had been tampered with. A connector was not plugged in and a resistor was shoved into connector pins. Volvo Cars Sarasota, which prepared the report, declined an interview. So we asked Chris Wallen, the chief technician at Brazil Automotive in Tampa, to interpret it for us.
So they actually went in the restraint control module. So the computer for the restraints messed with that, put resistors into that to trick it.
Yeah, and that wasn't by accident.
No, somebody did that on purpose. When you're in a collision, what it does is actually tension that seatbelt and pull you back in the seat so that you're not flying forward into the dashboard or the steering wheel.
None of the records we've seen could say when or where this work might have been done. Egert took the car back to H. Gregg.
I showed them the pictures. I said, you're taking this car back. The car has to go back. I go, it's unsafe to drive. No one should be driving this car.
H. Gregg replaced it with a white 2022 Volvo S60. An accident report shows that car previously sustained disabling damages, causing a combination of airbags to deploy. This photo taken before the car was auctioned shows the driver's front airbag deployed. And H. Gregg told us there was no indication in the auction's report that the airbag had been previously deployed.
3 weeks later, the airbag light comes on after I buy the car.
So this is two Volvos.
Two Volvos, same dealership, same exact problems.
Egert took the second car to the Volvo dealer, where a technician discovered the driver's airbag was rusted and had markings from a junkyard.
Any used part that comes out of a junkyard, there's always going to be marking like that on it. It may have sat out in the rain. Maybe the car was wrecked or lost a windshield or something like that.
And that could affect
water
the
got in there.
performance of that
Yeah,
car.
yeah. Anytime you get water and corrosion inside electrical connectors, it creates excessive resistance.
The report says wires had also been tampered with, and the resistor for the seatbelt pretensioner was not even plugged in.
They're putting a resistor in place to try and trick the car into thinking that the airbag's okay and it's functioning correctly.
And what's the problem with that?
Well, in the event of an accident, they're not going to work. They're not going to come out. They're not going to do what they're supposed to do.
H. Gregg declined an on-camera interview, but told us in a statement that at any given point in time, less than 0.5% of their total inventory would have had their airbags previously deployed. That's less than 1 in every 200 vehicles. We went on H. Gregg's website and looked for used 2020 to 2024 vehicles listed here in Tampa and found there were a little more than 1,600 entries. We then looked at each individual vehicle and checked out its Carfax report to determine whether an airbag had deployed. We found 39 vehicles had one or more airbags which had previously deployed, nearly 5 times the rate H. Gregg claimed for its total annual inventory. 66 other vehicles had structural damage, severe damage, or were considered a total loss on Carfax reports. H. Gregg spokesperson said the company only purchases vehicles through the most reputable auction companies, conducts a multi-point inspection, which includes a review of diagnostic indicators, and would not sell a vehicle if H. Gregg believes the airbags would not operate as intended. Carfax says nearly 2 million vehicles with airbag deployment over the past 2 years are back on the road, including 106,000 in Florida. Carfax spokesperson Patrick Olson says it's important to check for airbag deployment before buying a used car.
It shouldn't be a don't buy this car because it's had an airbag deployment. It should be now do your homework. Get a mechanic to check it out, make sure that it's legit.
I'd plug into it and see what trouble codes were in there, and then start my diagnosis from there.
Wallen says he regularly does pre-purchase inspections to be certain airbags work. H. Gregg is also encouraging buyers to pay for a third-party inspection.
Maybe you never ever need it, but when you do need it, you need it.
Ron Egert counts himself lucky he's finally in a car he knows is safe.
If you get 2 in a row, how many out there are they not catching?
I'm I-Team investigator Adam Walser with photojournalist Matt McGlashan taking action for you.
And to read the full statement from H. Gregg or to find a link to Carfax where you can check for free whether an airbag has deployed in a vehicle, just go to our website right now, abcactionnews.com.